What is good, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the biggest iFVG mistakes that I see beginner and intermediate traders making. So I've been trading iFVGs for around 3 years now, and I've learnt the hard way. I've took a lot of bad losses over the time of me trading. So I've learnt from all these mistakes, and I'm going to save you guys years of pain taking bad setups from this video. Before we jump into the video, make sure to join my completely free Discord. It'll be one of the top links in the description. You get so much free value in there, and you can learn to trade directly from myself. But let's jump straight into the biggest iFVG mistakes that you are probably making on a day-to-day basis. So the first mistake I'm going to cover is stop loss placement. This is super important as you can turn potential winning trades into losing trades in your equity curve. So let's jump into stop loss placement. So let's say, for example, we have a high time frame fair value gap right here. So high time frame fair value gap. Let's say price has swept out an intermediate high inside of this fair value gap. And then let's say we swept the high and then we're looking for shorts here. Let's say we have LR below, we're looking for potential short positions. So we're taking an inversion fair value gap right here. Now, you may have been taught this way. You may have been taught to exit the trade if we get a candle close back above this iFVG. This is wrong, especially in this scenario. So, as you can see here, we've swept this high inside of a fair value gap. This then gives us a super high resistant protected high. So, if you are entering into a short position here, if you have your stop loss or close back above here, price does not care about inversion fair value gaps. Price cares about liquidity and about where all the orders are resting. Price has already swept all the buy side orders from above this high. So why would we need to revisit this high? If you are truly wrong about your idea, having your stop loss placed at the high is when you are truly wrong. And that's what stop loss is for. A stop loss is to show when is your idea truly invalid and when is your trade wrong. And that's why you place your stop loss at the high, because that's when that truly shows. If you have a close back above here, price can easily and quite often close back above and then run your low resistance or run your take profit. So if you're right about your bias, we could still close back above and the trade could still win. So having that stop loss placement like this on protected highs is extremely important. So I just quickly want to run over when it's okay to not have your stop loss at this external high and when you can have a bit of a tighter stop loss. So let's say we have there's no fair value gap in this leg, so there's no setup to take, but price then gives us a pullback and then we get a potential short. So because price has already had this pullback here, we do not need to see price trade higher again. This should be the highest point in price. We should not trade back to this high, which is delivered from this protected high. So you can enter into a short here, and then you can have a tighter stop loss, maybe at the displacement candle wick or at this internal high. You do not need to have it at the external high or the protected high because we should not revisit this high. And this is the situation where you can have a tighter stop loss. So I want to quickly show you guys an in-chart example. As you can see here, we have a 1 minute inverse to the downside, but this high right here is delivering us out of an hourly fair value gap. So if you are right about the bias here, you would expect price to continue lower. This high should not be revisited here, and this should just fuel us lower. So if you look at the 1 minute time frame here, you can see this was the protected or high resistant high. We then had a potential short here, leading up to this sort of mini low resistance and also this intermediate low. So your position would look like this. You would enter short on this candle close. You would have take profit there. Now, if you have your stop loss a close back above here, or even at the bodies, look what would have happened to you here. So you would have got stopped out of this trade comfortably. But because this is a protected high, we can anticipate this high to not get traded back to. We should not resweep here because we already have low resistance below. We've already delivered from that hourly gap. So you can have your stop loss at the high, which is in a truly protected area. This means that if price were to actually re-hit this high, you know that your trade's invalid and you know that you are wrong. But as you can see, price has a little pullback here, and we then trade lower towards our draws on liquidity. And this could have prevented you from taking an unnecessary loss when in fact it would have been a win, which is around a 2-hour swing on your accounts. So the next mistake is not waiting for any structure, and I get this a lot in my trading live streams. I get people asking this question a lot. What does this actually mean? So let's say we have a drawn liquidity below. So we have a high time frame VOL below, maybe resting inside of a high time frame fair value gap. So we're either looking for shorts to this or we're looking for potential longs out of this area. So let's say price comes down very rapidly towards our draw, right? We don't get to set up here because prices came down so quickly, there's no short setup. So now we're looking for a reversal long. If we were to get a reaction out of here instantly with a 1 minute iFVG, this seems like a high quality reversal setup. We've swept a high quality DOL inside of a high time frame PD array. But what you would see in a move like this is you would see stacked fair value gaps all the way up this leg, meaning that the market simply has no structure. Not to mention we have literally zero liquidity here. Falling knife structure is what we're longing into here. So this is what you want to avoid. So you may be asking, what do we do instead here? Well, you simply wait. So you simply wait for one of two things here. So you either wait for price to generate some liquidity and then potentially have a resweep, and then you can long up to this low resistance liquidity that's being generated, or you can simply wait for price to have this reaction, start trading higher, then generate some low resistance liquidity. Maybe we get a continuation along from the 50% this range, and then you can take that long. But either way, you have to wait for liquidity to be generated, and you have to wait for structure. You cannot just long the first inverse after a huge dump into a high time frame gap. You have to wait for structure first. This will save you from so many losses. Even if you're thinking, okay, this is fine, I can just target a 1-to-1 here and get away with a 1-to-1. You absolutely can't, because you're longing into all these PD arrays, and we could easily have a stop hunt here, and then you could get wrecked. So you have to be careful here and wait for structure. Okay, so this next one I see happen far too often. So let's say we have a super high quality setup here. We generate low resistance liquidity. We tap into a high time frame fair value gap down here, and we have a potential long setup. So we have potential long setup here. We have an inversion fair value gap here, and we have all this low resistance liquidity above to potentially target a, let's say there's an unfilled 15-minute here, which this low resistance liquidity leads to. There is potentially, let's say there's a 5-minute gap here. Let's say there's a 5-minute fair value gap here, and we have low resistance liquidity leading to this unfilled 5-minute. The bias is bullish. A lot of people will go break even when we hit this first swing high. Price can easily come up here, have a retrace. This low is protected or high resistant, so we're not going to trade back to this low, and then price goes to your full take profit. This will happen to you guys an awful lot. So this is where you need to be really thinking about what is the area that you're hitting. So in this case, it's a 5-minute fair value gap or a swing high. What is this area defending? So this area is defending this low resistance that we're anticipating it to run. What is this area attacking? This area is attacking this high resistance liquidity that we are expecting to hold and not trade back to. So why would you go break even at this 5-minute fair value gap when we have conviction in this low resistance? It leads up to a high time frame DOL. So simply you let your trade run. If we have a pullback, so let's say we come up and then we have a nice pullback, maybe deliver from this iFVG again, and then we come up, this is when you can go to break even. So you'll often see me marking out a close above here. So I want to see a retrace, and then I'll potentially take my stop loss to break even when we close back above here, because I know that we've already had one healthy pullback. If we come down again, it's then getting into very choppy conditions. So this is not what I want to see, but I will allow for a healthy pullback, and then I will move my stop loss to break even. So try not to move your stop loss to break even prematurely, because you're just removing winners from your equity curve. If you're right about your trade idea, a 5-minute iFVG in the middle of low resistance liquidity should not stop your full TP from hitting. Okay, so a quick in-chart example would be this potential 1-minute or 2-minute long. Let's say you went break even when we hit this next high, which is resting inside of this 2-minute fair value gap. You would have ended up just getting bottom ticked at break even here, but why was this a bad stop loss to break even move? Simply look above. What are we targeting? We have an abundance of low resistance liquidity resting above. We have a super high resistance stop loss delivering us out of a higher time frame fair value gap as well. You can see here that we're coming out of this hourly gap, and you're moving your stop loss to break even inside of this 15-minute and 5-minute fair value gap, when all we are protecting here is low resistance liquidity, and a lot of it with a high resistance stop loss. So you've got to weigh this up. If you have nothing to, if there's no reason to go break even, don't force yourself to go break even. Let your trade idea play out. And I actually took this trade in live time, and as you can see, not going break even there actually saved me around 3R on my account. As you can see, this hit full take profit there. So you've got to be careful with your break evens. Don't go break even too early, as this will ruin your equity curve and take winners out of your data set. So the next one is not waiting for low resistance liquidity to form when we have a high resistance target. So let's say we have a super clear drawn liquidity here. So we have a high time frame DOL, which is our buy side above. But defending this drawn liquidity, we have an hourly fair value gap. So let's say this is a 1 hour fair value gap in the way of price getting to this drawn liquidity. So let's say price comes up, we tap into this hourly gap. So If I were to ask you guys this, if we were on live stream, for example, what is this? This is a high resistant high. Reason being, it's delivering us out of a high time frame PD array. So this is a high resistant high. So let's say we have a 15-minute fair value gap here. We would have a continuation long here towards our draw on liquidity. Looks like a very good setup. But if you take this continuation long here, 9 times out of 10, this will fail because we have a high resistance target. In these types of scenarios, what we will typically want to wait and see is both a stop hunt or a resweep and generated low resistance liquidity. So you would instead want to see something like this. We generate some low resistance liquidity. We then resweep the low inside the 15-minute gap. And then we can take our iFVG up to this low resistance liquidity and then to a high time frame draw. So you can either take your base hit there to the internal liquidity, or you can target the high time frame draw as this high here, which is the key. This high here becomes low resistant because we have that LR leading up to this draw. So hopefully that makes sense, but do not try to take the first inverse when there's no liquidity buildup and it's coming out of a high time frame gap. These are extremely high resistant. You're going to lose more often than not with these types of setups. So in terms of confluence and conviction, this kind of comes into the same aspect as moving your stop loss to break even too early. So this one is waiting for the highest time frame inversion. So you have to weigh up your confluences. Let's say above we have a high time frame DLL, super clear. We know what it is. It's potentially equal highs or high time frame LR. And we have a high time frame gap below. High time frame fair value gap. So maybe this is a 15-minute fair value gap or an hourly fair value gap. We have high resistance, we have low resistance LR above. Price is then coming down. We have low resistance leading us to this high time frame fair value gap. We then tap into this fair value gap. We then get a stop hunt inside the gap. We then get an inverse, right? So this is what we've just seen here. We've got an inverse here. We've got low resistance liquidity to target above. We have a high resistance stop loss. We have an intermediate low swept, giving us a protected stop loss. We then get our inversion fair value gap. We then get a 1 minute inversion fair value gap, let's say. Why would we want to wait for the 3-minute iFVG here, for example? Why would we wait for the 3-minute here and risk missing this move when we have such high conviction in this trade? This is why you just need, if you have enough conviction, if you have enough confluences for your trade idea to be valid, you have a low resistance target, high resistance take profit, high time frame DOL above, and everything aligns, there is no need to wait for the highest time frame inversion here. All this is going to do is risk potentially when we inverse this 3-minute fair value gap, price is closed here. And then look at the risk to reward you're dealing with here. So the top of the LR is about a 0.4 and then it's a 0.7 to the high time frame DOL. Whereas if you took that 1 minute inversion earlier, you're looking at about a 3R. So that's the only risk you take when you're super confident, especially if you're confident in your high resistance stop loss. This is so important. And I'm going to go on to this example that I showed for the break even here. So I'm going to use this exact same example because people ended up getting wrecked here or getting break even with an aggressive break even when you shouldn't have. So if we look at the 1 minute time frame here, you can see how we inverse this 1 minute fair value gap on this candle close, right? Super strong momentum, protected stop loss. We also had all this low resistance liquidity above, right? Super strong liquidity above. And you could have either targeted internal liquidity if you wanted to go for more of a basic for 1.6R, or you could have targeted the high of the low resistance there for around a 3.6R. Now, if you waited here for the 2 minute to inverse, and then you wanted to go break even at this high, comparing those two concepts, you're missing out to start with. You're missing out on 1.2R if you wait for that 2 minute to inverse. You're missing out on 1.2R, and also if you decide to go break even aggressively at this 930 wick, you're getting stopped at break even, whereas on the 1 minute, you have a lot more breathing room in all aspects of your trade, right? You can go break even earlier and still give your trade more breathing room, and you can have a much higher risk to reward on the trade. So when the trade's got this much confluence, we've got high resistance stop loss, low resistance take profit, which we do right here, as you can see. There is no need to wait for the highest time frame inverse. So you have to weigh up your confidence level in the trade. When everything's aligned, it's a high quality setup. You do not need to wait for the highest time frame inverse, as that's going to ruin your risk to reward and potentially even ruin your win rate because you're going to have to take break even trades instead of winning trades. So hopefully this video has been informative for everyone, guys. If you have any questions, drop me a message on Discord. Like I said, join my free Discord and make sure to subscribe for more free educational content. And I'll see all of you guys in the next YouTube video.